Cushions are golden. And it says right here, a cushion is a statement that acknowledges we listened. That's it. It doesn't agree, it doesn't disagree, it doesn't attempt to answer. All it does is give us a little bit of distance between us and the client to figure out what to ask next. Good? So here's one from Aaron. It says, you require too many steps.
Steps.
Oh, sorry, you require too many steps. Excuse me. Which one can I use? Which cushion can I use here? Which one can I use? Hey, certainly you want to go through the deal reasonably quickly. Right? Certainly you want a quick process. You require too many steps. Hey, I understand you want a quick process. By the way, is that objection about quick? Or sorry, it says you require too many steps. What's that objection about? Just about a policy, right? Right? What's it about? What is it? What's bothering them when they say you require too many steps?
Work.
Okay, now there we go. Hey, certainly you want to avoid extra work. Now we've got a good one, don't we? Let's try another one. Rodrigo wrote, it's slow. Hey, I appreciate your concern about getting fast responses. Doesn't answer it, does it?
No.
Doesn't agree with them.
I don't think that's what he meant.
Tell us more. What do you think he means? What's that?
Slow business. Yeah.
Ah, got it. So it's a different one. So let's come up with a cushion for that. So business is slow. Let's put that. Let's make it a little more detailed. Hey, business is slow. What's a cushion off this page we could use or adapt?
Well, that's across the board, but I can help you with that situation.
Yeah. Hey, I've heard that before. We've worked with a lot of dealers who have told us that. Right? We can help. Let's try another one. Whoops. You dropped the cards here. Too much coffee. I can appreciate your concern for too much coffee. Renal wrote, your rates are too high compared to everyone else. Use a cushion off that page or adapt it. Just got it.
Well, I understand your concern, but there's a couple things that affect your rates, and so we can get into that right now if you'd like.
I understand your concern. Wanting lowest rates possible is something that all my dealers expect. Right now, we got rid of the word but. Let's just agree right now never to put our butts in each other's faces. So that. Also, let's avoid putting our howevers in each other's faces. Right? The reason is what that does is that starts to create a conflict.
Correct.
So we're going to avoid the word but. We're going to switch it to like and. Right? We're going to avoid the word however. We're going to avoid the words but really. Right? We're going to avoid all that stuff. We're going to use good, positive, affirmative language because we want to open this opportunity up, right? That's how this technique works. It opens the opportunity up. Let's try one more. I'll give these back. Raise your hands, quick speed contest again with objection cards. Go for it. On your marks, get set, go. Could you pass those back to everybody else? I'll get yours, I'll get yours, and I'll get yours. Okay, let's try it again. CPS is too hard to fund with. You always find something wrong with deals once we send them in.
Yeah.
I can understand it. If we're making it complicated for you, we want to help. We don't work with first payment recourse lenders. I understand having policies. Most of my dealerships have similar policies.
Hold on, I'm sorry. The first one you said, what was it?
We don't work with first payment. The first one?
Oh, yeah, the first one.
CPS is too hard to fund with. You always find something wrong with deals once we send them in. I can understand that. I'd be frustrated if all mine got sent back too. No?
No. You know that?
How come?
Because the dealer's gonna say, what are you talking about? I send the package in perfect.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
So,
what do you say?
which package did you have in mind?
I'm talking about the package you're sending back right now.
Okay, and so here's our exact issue with that particular package. It was missing an employment verification. If you could fix that, we'll be ready to go ahead.
Okay. What do you mean missing employment verification?
Ah,
You got the pay stub and you got the phone number.
what do we mean? What do you think?
No, this is real.
What's that? Yeah, it's real, right? So what would we say? Listen, cushion, question, respond. We gotta ask another question, right? What question should I ask?
So the question to that would be, we've tried to verify their employment about 3 or 4 times, haven't been able to get a hold of anybody. They're requesting us fax, they'll do it via fax, and as soon as we get it back, I'll give you a call and let you know.
Okay, now that's the whole thing, that's the whole response, right? So now that's the response, so you've gotten straight to that little blue pond, okay? So we want to listen, we want to cushion, we want to ask a question, and then we want to respond and trial close. Make sure that's okay. Because I know the next thing you were going to say, Rodrigo, is, does that make sense? And they go, yeah. Or how does that sound? Yeah, sounds good, right? That's the process. The truth is, many of us in here are probably already using this technique. It's just a matter of sharpening it up a little bit. Let's try another one, and thanks for calling me on that one. We don't work with first payment recourse lenders. What's the cushion? A lot of my dealers have similar policies.
Pay it for me.
What's that?
Pay the first payment for him.
What step is that? And by the way, guys, that is what most people will do, okay? Most of your competition, the people you're competing with, are going to jump straight to the response. They're going to give a response before they do these other three things. What's the danger of that?
Be addressing the wrong concern.
We could be addressing the wrong concern, we could get into a conflict, we could get into a confrontation. We don't need to have one.
Right.
If we listen, we use a cushion, and we respond, and we ask a question, then we can figure out what the right response is. Go for it, Teresa.
Go for what?
You were going to say something. I thought.
Oh, I was going to ask you, so you're saying we need to go in exactly that order every time?
Listen, cushion, question, respond, evaluate. Listen, cushion, question, respond, evaluate. That's why it's on your hand, right? Listen, cushion, question, respond, evaluate.
So
Right
Mike,
now, go
what
for
would you
it.
tell a dealer if they told you they don't do recourse?
Well, let's try it out. So here's how it goes. Now, we're not telling them anything yet, right?
Thanks, Rod.
But yeah, that's right, because we're going to get there, right? So all we're on right now is step 2. So we don't work with first payment recourse lenders. Many of my dealers had similar policies.
Is that what you?
Is that your corporate policy?
You wouldn't tell. You wouldn't.
Yes,
tell
I
them
would.
that, would you?
That's exactly what I tell them.
Why?
You wouldn't tell them that?
Why would you say
Word by
that?
word.
Is it really?
I think it would now, yeah.
Why?
Kind of, I'll be stumped in the
Because
beginning.
you see where I'm going, right?
Yes.
Where am I going to go with this?
In the future, you let them know they ever came in.
Let's try it out. Let's have Michael and Rodrigo come to the center of the room for a second. Let's come in. Let's give them a call. My money's on this one. I'm just kidding. Here's what happens, okay? When the technique is used appropriately, this guy who is buying is stumped and a little interested. Okay? And he's given an opportunity to be convinced. Right? When the technique is used inappropriately, there's a fight, there's an argument. Okay? So first thing that's going to happen is he's going to listen to it, and then he's going to use a cushion. Many of my dealers had similar policies before we started working with them. Right? That's your cushion. Then you're going to ask a question. What's a good question?
What subprime lenders are having no first payment defaults? Recourse?
What is it? We're getting warm, right?
Do you have a lot of customers that miss their first payment?
Okay. Do you have a lot of customers who miss their first payment?
Yeah.
Right? Now, the issue is going to be, like, it depends on who Rodrigo is. If Rodrigo is a sales manager, is he going to have the authority to necessarily change that policy?
No.
If he's the GM, will he?
No. it's the
Probably not. Maybe, right? If he's the owner, will he?
Yes.
Definitely, right? So kind of depends on who we're talking about. We've got to figure that out if we didn't already know it. Let's see how it goes. Let's go back to back.
Well,
Is he the owner?
Am I the owner?
Manager or the
Who do you want him to be?
sales manager?
Okay, you're going to be the sales manager. Now, all you're going to do is listen, cushion, ask a question. If you get into trouble, ask another question. If you get into deeper trouble, ask another question. Okay?
Okay.
Let's get him doing the talking. When he's doing the talking, you're in charge. Let's say we're in the middle of a conversation, and he's a sales manager, do we say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And you've said he's interested in CPS. Tell him just a little bit about CPS, and then you can throw out your objection.
CPS, we do open bankruptcies and close bankruptcies.
Is that all you guys do?
Am I responding to everything?
Sure, go for it. Yeah, let's get it.
No, we have a wide spectrum of subprime. We have 9 programs that a customer can fall in.
All right, do you guys do first payment recourse?
Are you, Is he a franchise or an independent? See, I'm.
He's an
No,
independent. He has to be an
Let's
independent.
make it clear, that's
That's
good.
not a question.
He's an independent dealer?
Yeah,
Okay.
for a first payment, for independent.
Say it again,
dealership.
one more time, ask the
So
question.
do you guys have first payment recourse?
Yes, sir, we do. We have first.
You know, I don't
recourse.
think they're gonna let me sign up with you guys, dude. We don't
I-
do first payment recourse banks.
I understand a lot of my dealers have that same policy.
So you're telling me all of your dealers change their policies?
Not necessarily, but the ones that find the.
Okay, who
value
in my
of our
area,
dealership.
who in my
So
area
here's
you
where we got
working
into
with?
trouble. Here's where we're in a sword fight. We're in a sword fight right now because instead of asking a question, we've gone back to a statement. So let's take it again from the top. By the way, guys, you're doing a great job and thank you for being so coachable. So one more time, hit him with the objection. Go for it when you're ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
The objection to the recourse? Okay,
Hit him with what it
so,
says on the card.
okay, so we don't,
We don't do.
we don't work with banks to do first payment recourse.
I understand a lot of my dealerships have the same policies.
Now ask him a question.
Do a lot of your customers first payment default?
I don't know, you know, I'm an independent dealership, I move a lot of cars, you know, I can't be accountable for the
Ask
customer's
him another
first payment.
question.
Okay, what subprime lenders are you using that aren't first payment default?
There aren't, tons of them, bro.
Do you mind if we get a little bit more specific so I know what I'm competing with?
Who are you competing with?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, Westlake, Santander.
And how many deals are we funding with Westlake and Santander?
I'm running about 20, 25 through each bank. Not only because of that, because they got low fees and no steps. Can you beat that?
Now, hang on a second. So now he's piling on, right? This is the first time we practiced it. How many of us have ever studied a martial art? What'd you study, Scott?
The little guy was once.
That's right, you did. Okay, you studied karate. How long did you study karate? 9 months, okay? How many of us have ever studied one for a while?
Mike over there.
How many of us have ever played a sport? Okay, what did you play?
Wrestling.
Haha, okay.
It's not a sport.
On day one of wrestling practice, your very first time, you probably learned 1 or 2 basic techniques. Like, what did you learn?
Dress up.
How to get up from the bottom position.
How to get up from a bottom position, right? It's that basic, right? That's kind of where we're at right now, right? It's how to get out from a bottom position. So your flight, but on the first day, does it go perfectly?
No.
Definitely doesn't, right? Here's where you'll always be safe. If you listen, cushion, question. Listen, cushion, question. Let me try for a second. I'm going to tag you out. Okay, come back here. So at CPS, we do lots of different types of subprime lending. Do you have any questions about the product so far?
What kind of subprime lending do you do? What's lots?
Okay, so we do BKs. That's probably our sweetest spot. What are a couple of other places where we do it?
First-time buyers.
We do first-time buyers.
No FICO.
No
We
FICO.
also do, what's that?
Delinquent
We also do delinquent mortgages.
So wait a minute, you do first-time buyers?
We sure do.
Okay, give me a scenario of first-time buyer that you guys do.
Okay, scenario A, fast forward. Okay, so that's a scenario, that's a typical scenario.
Okay, do you do first-time buyers live with?
No, we don't.
You know, I'm in a college town, dude, and I got a lot of first-time buyers live with. They're just getting on their feet. So
Would you
why
please
would I
read the
use you
objection
for
to telling
first-time
cars
buyers?
where to go?
We don't work.
You're just gonna give me the one that's on the card, right?
We don't work with first payment recourse lenders.
Yeah, I've heard that before. In fact, a lot of my dealers told me that when we first started working together. Why is that your policy?
It's just a policy. We don't want to get hung for the car if the customer doesn't make their payment.
And how long has that policy been in place?
Since I started working here.
How long ago was that?
I've been here 3 years. Dealership's been open for 10 though.
So in those 3 years, how many of your buyers have missed their first payments?
There's been a few.
Are we talking about 10? Are we talking about 1?
Probably less than 10.
Now we're
How many deals have you
Yeah,
done?
9 times out of 10, the
You gonna evaluate?
person makes their payments. It's
So
very
you're saying 9 times out of 10 the person makes their payment.
No, you know what? I can't get into numbers right now.
Okay. When you say you can't get into numbers, do you mean?
This phone call's taking too long for me right now. And we don't. If you don't do first payment recourse, I can't sign up with your bank.
What do you think? You can help me out.
Decision maker.
What's that?
Sounds like you're not the
Yeah.
decision maker. Who should I actually be talking to?
Yeah. So it sounds like maybe this
See,
isn't, it's not
gatekeeper?
your policy, it's somebody else's policy, is that right?
Yeah, well, that's what the owner has in place.
What's his name?
His name is Joe.
Awesome, could you transfer me to Joe?
No, Joe's a little bit busy right now.
No problem, we'll call back another time and we'll go to Joe.
And what I could do is I could give him your email and let him know that you're inquiring about the policy that we have in place.
That's
And if
perfect.
he gets back